so bad. Hello people, today I want to talk about strumming on guitar, which is probably the most essential technique to master if you want to be able to do gigs either backing up yourself or someone else. So for me as a professional musician, this is one of those techniques that really pay the bills. And this is usually what I teach. If I teach a new guitar player, this is usually where I start, because I think it's so essential. You really have to get the strumming down before you do anything else. It has some core elements in it that comes back in other types of guitar playing. So let's get into the method that I use to teach strumming. So if you've never strummed before, this is how I would go about. So first of all, you want to establish a pulse. I would suggest tapping your foot. You don't see me doing it now, it's out of frame. Tapping your foot, that's step one. And then step two is, so the usual kind of strumming is that you do like this. So you do 16th notes, and you can start really slow, like, so here's the pulse, and we should go. And the idea here is that we're always gonna get a downstroke on the strong beats, which are the quarter notes that we are tapping. And this makes sure that we keep a steady flow, which is the most essential thing about having a good strumming technique, in my opinion. So let me demonstrate. So 1, 2. And here's how I would also, if I'm backing up someone, I would start by, just strumming without even having a chord in my left hand. I will just start like that to get into the flow. And also, if I'm backing up a singer, they might say, quicker or slower if they might have something to say about the tempo. So that's a great way to kind of get into the groove together with the one you're playing with. So I would start this way. And then, count in 1, 2, 3, 4, and so we have this, foot is tapping, and then we add 16th notes to that with our right hand, which is similar to playing a tambourine. This one should always just keep this steady flow. So you should always have this. And why I'm tapping the foot is that I feel that it kind of locks in with your muscle memory, that like I'm tapping and it's always a downstroke, which makes it so that I never lose that flow. And that's the most important part of this, in my opinion. So you see a lot of kind of misinformation, like if you look up tabs or chords, it might say that there's a strumming pattern that's like up, down, down, up, up, or something like that. And that I think usually refers to the accents added to the rhythm. But the thing is, in proper strumming technique, in my opinion, the right hand is always just strumming along. It should be very automated. And if I just play this open G chord, let's say I do a few different accents, different rhythms to this chord. You will see that my right hand is still just doing the tambourine. It's not really doing anything different apart from adding accents. Say I want this rhythm. It just keeps going. Or if I want I only want backbeats. That's a kind of weird strumming pattern, but you see how this right hand is always just doing the same thing. And so you want to really make this muscle memory for the proper strumming thing. So don't trust Ultimate Guitar where it says like these random strumming patterns. I've never used those. I just like listen but yeah, the flow is the main thing here. And if you want to make it a bit more musical, you can add this kind of a drum set aspect to it, which is, I just call it that. Like basically if I'm playing this G chord, it's gonna sound more musical and like it's gonna have some kind of a motion to it. If I'm kind of playing the lower strings first and then, you know, every other beat I play the higher strings. So you end up with this thing that it's like a kind of a back and forth. See how that sounds? It sounds so much better than like just going. It's almost hard to do like a robot. But you get my point. Like if you get that little boom, chicka ba, chicka boom, like a little kind of a, you know, kick drum, snare drum, kick drum, snare drum. That's kind of how I see it. Because usually if you play like a backing acoustic gig, you might be the only musician. So you have a lot of responsibility, and then, you know, you have to kind of simulate the drum set. That's not even there. So yeah. That's kind of my approach to strumming. Let's just review real quick. We start by having the tempo firmly in our foot. So I'm tapping. And then we start by just muting the strings. And we add this kind of a tambourine motion. So now we add that to the strings. And, you know, as soon as we feel that we're in this flow, we can add the chords. And one final thing I should mention is perhaps the most important part about this is, even if you're not, you know, playing all of these 16th notes, maybe you just want to have like some really simple, I don't know, some different kind of accent, or like just something like that. Then what I try to do, like more or less, is even though I'm not even touching the strings, I try to just keep that flow going in my right hand at all times. So if I'm just going like, I'm just playing the ones, you know, I try to keep this like. So this, you know, you can almost like not even do it, but as long as you're just like feeling that motion in your right hand at all times, that is, in my opinion, the key to great strumming. Always having the flow, making sure that you're locking in with your quarter notes, that you're tapping them, and making sure that you don't like turn around the groove. Because here's how I hear a lot of people play that don't have this flow. They might play, if I have this rhythm, kind of a very common strumming rhythm. I hear some people go, I can't even do it. Give me one more try. You know, that you're like actually playing or like actually moving the hand once you have some kind of an accent or a hit going on, which is not optimal technique, and it stops swinging instantly when you do that, and it sounds really crappy, to be honest. So if I have a student walk in and they play this way, I say, stop what you're doing. Like we have to relearn this immediately before we do anything else. So just having the flow again. Just see the difference. See the difference in my right hand. If I have the flow, or if I just God forbid, if you accidentally, you know, if you turn around the groove in some way and you start with an upstroke. Oof, sounds so bad. Okay, but now you know how to sound professional, I hope. And yeah, this is the method I usually teach everyone taking lessons from me, and it's the first thing anyone should learn, in my opinion. So good luck learning strumming, and I hope I will see you on my channel soon. Take care.